Because if we are going to talk about agriculture in Africa, we cannot only talk about farms. We cannot only talk about exports. We cannot only talk about raw commodities leaving the continent. We cannot only talk about production for someone else's market value. We also have to talk about what happens inside the communities that produce the value. Who gets fed? Who gets access? Who gets stocked? Who gets supplied? Who gets ownership? Who gets the opportunity to build a small business from the food systems around them? This is where the conversation becomes very real. Because in places like Bamenda, Douala, Limbe, Yaoundé, Bafut, and so many communities beyond, the future of agriculture is not only in the field, it is also in the small shop. It is in the roadside store. It is in the neighborhood market. It is in the hands of the local retailer. It is in the woman selling food products to feed her family. It is in the young person who wants to start a business but does not have access to consistent supply. It is in the community distributor who understands the streets, the people, the needs, and the rhythm of daily life. And that is why this conversation matters, because the shopkeeper is not small. The shopkeeper is the last mile of food sovereignty. Let me say that again. The shopkeeper is the last mile of food sovereignty. A farmer can grow, a processor can package, a distributor can move, but if the product does not reach the local shop, the local market, the local mother, the local family, the local school, and the local community, then the system is still incomplete. Africa does not only need to produce more. Africa needs to circulate more value inside Africa. And this is one of the shocking truths. A continent can be rich in agriculture production and still be poor in local food access. The system is built to move value out faster than it builds value within. That is the problem. When raw commodities leave communities without enough processing, branding, packaging, distribution, retail access, and local ownership, then the community becomes the source of value, but not the beneficiary of value. That is not a food system. That is a drain. And that is why local distribution matters. That is why agro-processing matters. This is why small shops matter. This is why local retailers matter. This is why organic and regenerative farming matter. This is why avoiding dependency on GMO systems matter. This is why seed sovereignty matters. Because the question is not only, can Africa produce? Africa already produces. The deep question is, can Africa own, protect, process, distribute, and benefit from what it produces? That is the real conversation.